how to be a better reseller. So let's get right into today's subject. Today is all about time. What is your time worth? After all, that's the one commodity that we really have to decide what's the best way to use in order to be an effective reseller. So let's take a look at that a little more in depth. Time. This is the commodity we cannot multiply. We all have 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 365 days a year, 52 weeks. That's all we've got. There's no way you can get any more of it. So you've got to decide, all right, how am I going to use it in the way that best makes sense for my business? They're not making any more of it. You can't save time. We always talk about saving time, but there's not like you're going to get to the end of your life and there's going to be some big bank of time saved up where you can get all this time and use it so that you can do more in a given day. It passes no matter what we do, so we might as well decide to make the best use of it. So let's talk about money for a second and how it relates to time. First of all, I think it's important to know that it's not about the money. It's about the money for the time spent. That's how we decide who we're going to be as a reseller. Let's take a quick example. Suppose I have $1,000 and I want to give it to you to do a job. You may say, well, that's a good amount of money. I'll take the job. But isn't it really, aside from deciding, if you want to or are able to do the work, you've got to decide, is it worth it for $1,000? So for instance, suppose I say, I'm going to give you $1,000 and it's going to take you 1 hour to earn that amount of money. Most of us would say, wow, that's a really good hourly rate. If you give me $1,000 for 1 hour of work, I'm going to do it. However, let's say that I decided to give you $1,000 for 1,000 hours of work. Well, that only comes out to $1 an hour. And most of us are going to turn down that deal because the money is just not worth it for the amount of time that we have to spend to earn the money. So it's not about the money. It's really about the time spent to make the money. So what's the value of a reselling hour? Well, that's a really good question. You have to decide, what is your time worth? Maybe you will come up with an hourly rate goal. I can't tell you what's a good goal for you, but let's say you decide that you want to make $20 an hour at reselling. Well, fine. That's then your hourly rate goal. You need to think about, well, will the amount of time I put in versus what I will get back out of this equal $20 per hour? If so, you're meeting your goal. If not, you need to think about, well, maybe there's ways I can, things I can do to increase what I'm earning per hour. And then that ties into the value of the items that you're reselling. Your selling price minus your cost to acquire the item minus your cost to sell the item equals your profit. So let's assume for a moment that you have an item that's selling for $30. And let's say it costs you $10 to acquire it and it costs you $5 to sell it. Your profit on that item would be $15. And let's say that it takes you 1 hour to acquire, list, pack up, ship, deal with any questions for that item. That means you're making $15 an hour. So if your hourly goal was $20 an hour, you're not quite there. You're going to have to think about either selling an item that has a little bit more value, that you can sell for a higher price. Maybe it costs less to acquire. Maybe you can figure out ways for it to cost less to sell, or maybe you can just sell more of them in the same time frame. In any case, always be thinking about what is the value of a reselling hour. It's very important to deciding if what you're doing is worth it or not. There's also an opportunity cost when it comes to how we use our time in reselling. And that breaks down like this. Suppose that you're a professional and you make $50 per hour in whatever your profession is. Maybe you're a plumber, electrician, whatever your profession is. The question then becomes, can you make more by reselling than you do in your current job? Now, maybe you don't need to make $50 an hour, but if you can't do it, you need to at least think about, well, I'm making $50 an hour as in my current position, But now in reselling, I'm estimating I'm only going to make 30 if I take this route and sell these types of items with these types of costs and this amount of time to prepare them and ship them and so on. So you need to take that into consideration. Is it worth it to take a pay cut if your current job pays you more, or your current career? So that's one set of costs, opportunity costs. What are you losing out on by reselling, or are you in fact gaining opportunity? You're on your opportunity costs in terms of, well, maybe you're only making $10 an hour at your current job and you estimate you can make 30 reselling. So you're effectively giving yourself a raise. It works in either direction. There's also the time with your family and friends. Again, you can't save up time, as we mentioned earlier. So how much time is this going to take you to resell? For instance, if it takes you 100 hours a week to make $1,000, well, you're not making a very good hourly rate, and you're going to have no time virtually with your family and friends. Plus probably a lot of difficulties in terms of your health and your rest levels and energy levels and so on. It's going to wear you out. So you always want to think about, what is the time with my family and friends worth as well? We all need that time if we have family and friends in our lives, and that's worth something too. That's maybe worth more than money. It kind of grounds us in a lot of ways and makes us realize that there's things that are more important than just earning money. It's up to you. That's really the secret. It's up to you. What is your time worth? No one can tell you, hey, you're only making 15 bucks an hour. What you're doing is not worth it. Maybe that is worth it to you. Or no one can say to you, you would make more if you did this. Well, fine, but maybe you would have to give up things such as time with your family and friends, or give up your current job or profession or what you're already doing to earn income. It's up to you. That's the beauty of reselling. There is no right or wrong answer for this. You just need to think about what makes sense for your particular situation. All right, everyone, this has been another video. This is Prof Sales signing off, and I hope to talk to you all real soon. Good luck out there.